So I'm usually not one to really watch any kind of reality television. Every once in a while I get into like my Ink Masters. I'm down for Bar Rescue and stuff like that. But I don't ever really get that much deeper into it. But when I visit my parents, I oftentimes find them watching random reality-style television shows, and that was the case this past weekend when I visited them, and they were on some kind of diluted A&E kick. Now, the reason why I like things like Bar Rescue or, Ink Master, because, I like seeing good and bad tattoos, and it's fun to watch someone yell, even if I know it's all fake, it's still entertaining for the most part. But the thing that seems to be unique to A&E is that it's still bullshit, but it's also boring. But on one of their obnoxiously long commercial rotations, I was blessed by something. Blessed with the discovery of Psychic Kids, which has just been revived by A&E.
There's an energy around, taking over. And this very easily could be a portal.
My house feels like a portal to a demon world.
So of course, I'd never heard of Psychic Kids, but apparently it had run from about 2008 to 2010 on A&E. It was hosted by Chip Coffey. Actually you probably don't know him, but he did get exposed for being a fraud, and I think 2014, basically he was doing one of those psychic shows where you would do like cold reading and hot reading, and when people are mingling before the event, they all talk about who they're hoping to meet or just have some closure brought to them, and they basically pretended to be super fans, had a bunch of fake information, fake pictures of family members, and then of course Chip latched onto that like all cold readers do, which is basically you ask the right kind of questions and you just kind of link yourself into it. And it's so much more easy now that there's social media, because if you check yourself as going to an event, people can go through that and see all the different people, and most of the people that probably go to psychic events have very open Facebook profiles, so it's very easy to get this kind of information from you and just feed back to you what you want. So they basically did that, but with fake information. He fed it all back to him, and then of course they were like, "Ha, sucker, exposed." And then he tried to come back pulling that, "Look, I knew they were lying. I just wanted to give them a fake psychic reading, exactly what they wanted." Sure, Chip, sure.
Guests have reported seeing an older woman.
She's a total housekeeper. She knits or crochets.
That's a good guess, Chip. An old lady that died in a house probably knit or crocheted. Anyways, that was the host of the show, and the whole point of Psychic Kids was to find psychic kids, you guessed it, to find psychic kids and help them through their troubling times. Now, first off, I do not want to I'm not trying to insult any of the kids that were on this show or are planning to be on this show in the future. I am insulting the parents and A&E for allowing something like this to actually happen. And not only happen once, like a decade ago, but then to be revived now. Because the revival, they gotta flip. Obviously, they probably can't bring Chip back because he's been exposed as a fake. Not that they care. A&E definitely doesn't care about that, because the regular people do believe it. I was going through some of the YouTube clips that A&E has now been re-uploading to get people pumped for the premiere that was about a week ago. And a lot of people actually believe it. Like Letitia here, who says, "I can't wait for the new Psychic Kids. I think it will be really cool seeing kids from the older shows help the new generation of Psychic Kids." Because that is this season. It's that the kids from the show a decade ago are gonna come back and show the new kids how to use their powers. Do they call them powers? I don't know. They're psychic abilities. So here's a little taste of the teaser trailer, or like some of the teasers that they had to try to get people hyped for this show coming back.
What if she does have the power to like hurt me?
Oh, God.
In this house, a woman died. She's not happy.
It wants us to leave.
Now, I'm sure you probably noticed something that I did. There's clearly lights so you can see things, but then they have this insistence on using a night vision camera, as if you can't see them regularly, and it's clearly just to try to make things seem spookier than they actually are. But again, I'm not going to insult the kids. I guess some of these kids are now adults, so maybe I can insult the adult versions of them. But I mainly want to ask the parents, what the hell? Because there's a couple options. It's either these kids are faking and they know they're faking and they're just having a real good time with it. And their parents are like, yes, let's get on a reality television show, just like that chick from Dr. Phil. Or they're dealing with serious delusions that should not be encouraged for a multitude of reasons. Some of these kids might just think they have abilities because kids have imaginations and they run wild. When I was a kid, I knew someone who thought they were a cheetah. Like legit thought they were a cheetah. I, as a very young kid, really wanted superpowers, so I would totally have fed into this if somebody encouraged it as a child. Most people would. You've got a wild imagination as a child, and somebody encourages some of that imagination in that kind of way, you're gonna run with it. Or it's way more serious and they're actually dealing with some kind of like psychological issue and they should probably see a doctor. So at first, there was a bunch of things from the old stuff too where, Chip was like, no. Not crazy. No one's crazy here. No one needs any help. But then in a disclaimer had to be like, but actually you should probably get your kids checked before we visit this realm of things just in case. But parents see this as an opportunity to get their kids on television. So again, I'm not trying to insult the kids. They can't call A&E and sign a contract. But you know who can? Their parents. And obviously it's all just BS. Like you've got people walking into rooms being like, I just feel a negative energy, like a woman, and then someone else will be like, yes, I felt a feminine presence too. So like when you have that many people together, obviously they're all just gonna be like feeding off each other, but again, it's also like boring as hell. Like even like the Ghost Watchers show, like Ghost Hunters, the show is boring as hell. Like these are all supposed to be revival series, so you'd think they'd be trying to hit the ground running, but an episode of Psychic Kids started playing this week, and I actually got to see an entire episode of the new series, and it was boring as hell. Like, here are some of these flashbacks that were uploaded by A&E. Haley lives with angry spirits. Joel sees animal ghosts. Don't worry, we're gonna come back to that one. Morgan predicts natural disasters. Allie predicts death. I'm really interested by Joel sees animal ghosts, so we're gonna watch that one.
Sometimes I hear voices calling my name.
Oh no, this one's 14? Oh no.
It feels weird, like leave this world for a little bit, then I come right back.
Why is he in a tree? Why is he in a tree?
Look at that! Look at that!
I've always known he was special.
Okay, wait, so their proof that he's been experiencing these since the age of 3 is just him being like, look at that? Look at that. Like, why wouldn't they even try to do the whole pan up to nothing being there?
I just happen to look behind her and I see a white transparent wolf rushing towards the fence.
And he goes, get in the house now.
The next day, all of the grass was green except for that one area where the wolf was walking, it was dead.
I love that they just pan to the grass, which is the current grass, which is just dead, dying because of the season. As if that was supposed to be the example of like what happened with this like spirit wolf. Oh my God.
Close your eyes. Just let yourself go.
Oh man, here's Chip.
There's something out there that's watching us. Did you hear that?
What'd you hear?
It sounded like something was running, like, towards me.
I feel really bad for Joel, because he's older and he seems actually distressed by this, so I don't know if he's faking or if he, like, actually needs help. Like, I don't know. I hope you're doing okay, Joel. Again, I'm not trying to insult the kids. I'm just absolutely pissed off that this exists. Let's take a look at Allie predicts death.
We were at the grocery store and we bumped into this man, and I said, oh, he's really, really sick. And that was on a Tuesday, and that Thursday he passed away.
Okay, wait. You randomly ran into somebody in a store and you said, oh, that guy's really sick. And then you somehow know that that person died 2 days later, even though you didn't know who they were? What? So yay, a big chunk of this video messed up somehow. So we got a couple of extra things to toss in here in between what's already been in this video. Okay.
Is she schizophrenic? You don't know. You don't want to talk to anyone about it.
I'm pretty sure you should talk to somebody about it. I think that would be the responsible thing to do as a parent. When your kid is talking about chronic head issues and seeing auras around people and you're questioning whether she's mentally sound, the first responsible thing would be to take her to a psychologist. Oh my God, I can't with these people.
After you tell them, they don't believe you and they make fun of you.
And one of the things I notice is that these parents always point out the fact that their kids get like bullied or mistreated or different things like that. So why did you put them on a national television show? Why would you put them on a reality television show, which is literally just opening them up to more ridicule? Like, I realize I'm talking about it too right now, but these ones were the ones that aired like 10 years ago. All of these people are adults now, and I'm just hoping that they're doing okay. But if your common denominator thing is that you feel bad that your kids get made fun of when they talk about this stuff, even just hinting at it at school causes them ridicule, and you're gonna put them on a show that highlights it and is literally going out of its way to make it seem creepier, more exaggerated, like, do you think that's gonna like legitimize it to their fellow students? Probably not. I hope that most of these kids are just kind of like, yeah, I faked the whole thing so I could get on television. But sadly, a lot of these are probably just kids that don't fit in, are slightly outcasted, are looking for a reason to feel special, and A&E is right there and ready to swoop in and capitalize off of that. Can you tell that I'm so pissed off that this exists and that they're bringing it back? So then we can cross over here to Alexa, get it? Crossover. Don't worry, I hate myself the most. And her house is haunted to the point that I guess they just left. And originally the show tries to paint it in a way that the ghosts left the house disheveled, but then you ultimately just realize that they just left the house in a state of disarray because they moved out so quickly. I don't know if I believe any of that, but at one point, a bird just starts flying around and like no one's as concerned as they should be.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? What the heck? Wow. That was weird.
I'm not calling ghost hunters or psychic helpers for that. I'm calling animal control and animal cruelty organizations. And if the bird being in the house and people not immediately ducking for cover didn't seem weird enough, the fact that the mom just goes to like casually grab it, you know, a wild animal that's in a home instead of just opening a door and letting it out, like, I have questions. Is this a prop bird? Is this a pet? Has it been in here the entire time you've abandoned your home? I need to know.
That kind of stuff, as weird as it sounds, happens to me a lot.
You frequently have animals in your home that aren't supposed to be there? I feel like at this stage I haven't really pointed out enough issues with like Chip Coffee. Because if I'm mad at the parents and I'm mad at A&E, you can bet your ass I'm pissed at the person who's actually trying to convince these kids that he can help them.
There's definitely something that does not want us in this house, in this garage.
I don't want you on this laptop in this television show, but beggars can't be choosers. And like by the end of it, they're not really helped. It takes kids from like weird, different, like, you know, it takes Joel who just sees animals and puts him into a situation where he's seeing dark figures in houses. So it's like, is it supposed to help them like tap into it more? Is it just supposed to help them understand it? Because by the end of it, it just seems like they put them in a scarier situation and then just send them on their way. And the parents like, oh my God, it's so nice to finally be accepted. But you know, now they're on nationally publicized television.
It's in the garage, it's in the garage, it's in the garage, it's in the garage, it's in the garage. Oh, it's in the garage.
Yep, I definitely feel like Chip's helping these people. Anyways, I could go through a bunch of the actual little clips that we have here for Psychic Kids, but again, it really just comes down to the fact that I think that these parents are ridiculously irresponsible. A&E is horrible, but they're like a network. I expect networks to be horrible. This is bad. This is like extra bad. It's one thing if you want to do ghost hunter shows with like adults, if you want to do psychic shows with adults, but don't bring kids into stuff like this. Come on. But anyways, that is gonna do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments section down below. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all later.